So it's quite a good day to be around today. We've got a bit of work going on the fairways. So we'll have a look at this machine doing some work, top dressing the fairways, some amendments on the fairways, a calcium, magnesium product putting out on the golf course. We're all on sand, so we're always leaching out the nutrients through the soil at this time of the year, and then in January we're putting out major nutrients, just trying to keep those in balance. We renovated the greens 3 weeks ago and they've actually come back really well, which is pleasing. We had a good and bad week last week where we had a heap of rain, which was fantastic, but it stopped our processes, so we're probably we're a week behind where we should be, which is fine for the tournaments. I think there's another, we're still 70 days away, which feels as though it's quite a short time, but actually it's a long while away. So we have a few major events, major events. We have club championships start in a couple of weeks, which we're still going to be working right up to that point. The only rush or the real work is in the bunkers. The bunkers are quite an integral part of the golf course, but they are a challenge. There's a lot of sand, and the placement of that sand is obviously vital for the tournament. We're still quite a long way off there. As soon as we can get this renovation stuff out of the way, then we can hit the bunkers really hard. The fairways have been scalped down to 6 mil, and we've been cutting them at 6 mil for the last 2 to 3 weeks, and now we're top dressing. It's quite a nice covering of sand, which is fantastic. Once we've brushed it, it picks the grass up again, and then we knock that over. So we'll get a fairly consistent surface eventually. When that will be, obviously, will be to do with the spring and how much growth we're getting. Hopefully, it won't take too long to come back. We buy in are going on for 500 tonne of sand to top dress the fairways. We've scalped down the fairways. We usually have a go with a scarifier, but I don't think we need to this year. And we did a load of work in January on the fairways, and I feel as though they're tight enough and they're ready to go. We've just really taken off the puffy grass from the winter time with the scalping, and we've got rid of that. And now this is the last process in the whole program to really bed them down for the tournament. We'll top dress it, and then he'll start grooming it in to get the sand down into the swarms. It's all weather dependent really from now on, just to see how the spring goes. November's the time when the turf really gets going. At that point, I'll be using some Primo, some growth regulator on the fairways just to keep them in check. A non-tournament year will do more of this in January than now, basically because this is such a crucial time on the golf course for the members. So we try and keep out of their way as much as we can. If we're putting sand out, we certainly wouldn't put as much sand out as this. It would be more of a dusting on the fairways. But it's still completely playable. This is our amendments that goes out 3 times a year. It's a good process to do now. And we can obviously water it in, or we'll get a bit of rain and it disappears pretty quickly. We'd like to have done this before we top dress, but we're sort of doing both together. And then we'll just drench it through over the next week or so. But you can see the fairways, they're pretty good, and they're quite nice and tight. I want to be able to take more grass off them at this point. So when we come to November, we haven't got a shall we say, a puffy surface. We'll have a nice tight surface that won't too much divoting going on. From now on, we'll take the nitrogen completely off. They've had two hits of Primo, about 200 mils per hectare, so we'll increase that as time goes on. So there's plenty of density, but we're not getting too much top growth, so hopefully we're getting everything going underneath, which is important, obviously, not only for the tournament, but the summer coming ahead. So this is a fairway actually we did yesterday. This has been broomed in, and obviously it needs a bit more work on it. We've got a fairway mower that's pretty old and ruined, so we'll send that fairway mower across it just to break up the sand even more before we put our decent mowers across it. It's obviously a major development over the last 2 years to get all these areas done. There's this area, and then the other area, the satellite area we call it, has been open 2 years. That area has relieved the amount of stuff we have to have stored here. So we've got more and more space, and it will certainly make a difference going through the tournament. We've got a little reception area here. This is all sort of admin for the guys. This is the Superintendent's office here. We've never really had wall space in the past to put up maps of the golf course. This is all our programs for the year. The tournament is here, so we've got a couple of months to get everything out of the way, but it's working really well. So much easier, so much more of a pleasant place to work out of. Come tournament week, we'll have another 30 guys coming in. This is probably my favourite room of the whole development, and it's all to do with training. We use this room in the morning for our toolbox talks. The jobs for the Open are up on the board already. This is important for the tournament, so this wall disappears, and I'll show you the other side, which is our lunchroom. So when the tournament happens, we'll take that operable wall away, and then we'll have a massive area to accommodate our staff and the volunteers. It's a great space for the guys to come and work in.